Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn how to use the statistics worksheet in the BA2 Plus financial calculator to compute the sample mean and standard deviation for the given dataset. BA2 Plus uses two worksheets to perform statistical analysis: the data worksheet to enter the data and the stat worksheet to perform statistical analysis. First, we need to access the data worksheet. Data worksheet is the second data function on number 7. So we're going to press second and 7. Just like any other worksheet, before entering data points, we need to clear the previous values stored in the worksheet. Note that clearing data worksheet will automatically clear stat worksheet as well. So we press second and then clear. Now let's enter the values. Because we are using one variable analysis, we only key in values for X input variables and skip Y's, as our data don't have a second attribute or Y values. That being said, Y input variable can be used to indicate frequency if any number is repeated in the set. For example, in our example, 7% is repeated 3 times, and therefore instead of keying in 7 3 times, we can set Y to 3 to tell the calculator that there are 3 7s in the set. Our first data value is 7. So I key in 7 and I press enter. I use the down arrow key to go to Y1. Y1, as I said, we can use it to indicate the frequency of a particular number that is repeated in the set. In this case, 7% is repeated 3 times, so I can just enter 3 to tell the calculator that 7% is repeated 3 times in the set. Now we use a down arrow key to move on to the second entry. X2 is our second data point. In this case, 11%. So I'm going to press 11 and then press enter. 11% is repeated once, so all I need to do is just press the down arrow key twice to skip the Y entry. X3 represent the third variable, in this case 3%, so I press 3 and enter. Again, 3 is repeated once, so I can just skip Y entry by pressing the down arrow key twice. Finally, the last value is 9%, so I press 9 and press enter. Now we are done entering the values. All we need to do is to exit the data worksheet and enter the stat worksheet. In order to exit the data worksheet, we press second and we press compute to quit the worksheet. Stat worksheet is used to access statistical variables and see the results. It is the secondary function on key number 8. So I press second, press 8. The first variable in the sheet indicates whether we are doing one variable or two variable statistics. Except for the first variable, the rest of the variables are auto-computed. The default setting is one variable, and this is what we are performing. So we go to the second variable in the sheet by using the down arrow key. So we press down arrow key. As you can see, n is already being computed. N represent the number of observation or data values in the set, which is 6. Now we use the down arrow again. X bar represent the mean of the values in the set. In this case, 7 point repeating 3. We use the down arrow key to move to sample standard deviation. S sub x represents sample standard deviation, which we're looking for in this case. So the sample standard deviation is 2.66%, rounded out to 2 decimal place. We use the down arrow key again. Sigma sub x represent population standard deviation. In case the given values are the whole population, we use this standard deviation. We use the down arrow key. Sigma x is the sum of the x values. And if I use a down arrow, the last variable in the worksheet is sigma x squared, which is the sum of the x squared values. To answer the given problem, the mean of the sample is 7.33%, rounded off to 2 decimal place, and the standard deviation of the sample is 2.66%, rounded off to 2 decimal places.